I'm Tim Jacobs, and this is Introduction to Ethics. Where do morals come from, and how do they apply to major cultural issues, or our daily lives? Let's talk about it. Today we'll be introducing the course. What is this class going to look like? And we'll take a look at the syllabus as well. What are the course goals? What are you going to learn from this course? First, we're going to learn some critical thinking skills. You'll learn how to think for yourself instead of accepting what society spoon feeds you. There's a saying, give a person a fish and feed him for a day. Teach a person to fish and feed him for a lifetime. This means that if I just tell you the answers to ethical questions, then all you're going to have is a handful of answers. But if I teach you how to find your own answers, teach you how to think critically for yourself, then you will be able to find answers to any questions for the rest of your life, hopefully. Socrates says that the unexamined life is not worth living. This means that when we investigate the reasons why we believe certain things, we improve our life. We want to live a valuable life. That means we want to live on purpose. We want to live with meaning. We don't want to just be pushed around by society, tossed around by whatever the cultural whim is. Our second goal is that I'm going to teach you the basics of ethics. You will learn the basic concepts and systems as well as the history of big ethical questions. Alasdair MacIntyre, a philosopher, says that the present is intelligible only as a commentary upon and response to the past. That means that ethics is really going to only make sense if we look at it historically. What's the history of the development of these ideas? We can understand where our culture has come from. Why do we believe the things that we believe today? And are there alternatives? Are there other ways of thinking of things? But what is ethics? Ethics is the philosophical study of morals that asks certain important questions, like, where do morals come from? Is it society or what? What is the meaning of life? How do I find happiness? How do I learn right from wrong? And other questions. We'll investigate what these questions even mean as the course gets started. What will this class look like? Well, let's take a look at the syllabus together. So here's the syllabus as you see it online. This online syllabus, you can initially find it on your online web portal for the class. However, I encourage you to very soon look at this address right here where the online syllabus is. As we can see right here, I have a warning that says that the syllabus may change at any moment. Of course, I will notify you for significant changes. In fact, probably by the time you are even viewing this video, it has already changed in some small ways. So look online and find those little changes. I will keep it updated as things develop throughout the course. Perhaps adding videos or subtracting some things. So be sure to keep up to date on what is in the syllabus. Now let's look at it. Here you just have the title of your class. Now, of course, I may be using this video for future classes as well, so you will especially need to log online to the online website for dates and for the particular details of your class. Now, here are the materials you'll need. Everything is free and online. You have an online textbook at this address right here. You have some supplemental readings that you will need to look at right here in this online reader. You also have the online syllabus that we're looking at right now. And then, of course, the online videos, of which you're watching them first. Now, this catalog course description, this is just a direct copy of what is in the course catalog. You can read that as you want. Now, this is some important information here. This is my contact information. Of course, email is probably going to be the primary means of our communication. However, every term, several students really latch on to texting me. I respond very quickly. I've set up this phone number specifically for texting with students. It's just a quick exchange, and I answer fairly quickly. Also, I don't really have a physical office at present. I move around to several offices, but my sort of business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 p.m. That's when I will answer your emails and texts. Also, if you want to find out some more information about me, you can look at my CV or resume at that web address right there. Okay, let's keep going. Some policies here. Plagiarism. If I catch you plagiarizing and I have a sophisticated plagiarism checker for written assignments, then it's an automatic failure. I will approach you and ask you about it first, but it's an automatic failure. That's the policy I have. Also, if you need any accommodations for any particular needs, you have any particular requests, then I will make reasonable accommodation for those. Also, we have right here how grades will work through the course, the different assignments and how much weight they have for your overall grade. And then, of course, this right here is the division of the overall grade. If you want some details on the online textbook, you can look at that right here. This is what the actual book is that you'll be reading, which is referred to up here. You'll see this little footnote here. All right, let's keep going. Now we have the requirements. Sorry. All right. Now, on these requirements, first we want to look at this right here, this little billboard sort of thing. This is to say that the due dates are all going to be listed on the course calendar below. Everything that you submit will be submitted online on the online web portal. Also, I have a strict policy about late work. It will not be accepted. You can work at your own pace up until the due date. All right, now let's get into assignments themselves. The reading walkthroughs are, there will be a series of 5 to 10 questions that you want to read and answer along with your readings at the same time. It's open book, open note. You're going to submit your answers online, and you can find the questions in the online reader. You can find the readings in the online reader as well, unless they are from the Pojman textbook. There will be roughly 40 pages of reading per unit you can expect. Now, tests, there's only going to be a couple of tests. They may include any previous lecture or reading material. Any course content may show up on the test. Now, the tests are not timed, and they're open book and open note. Research papers. Okay, there's going to be a couple of papers. The first topic is going to be applied ethics, and the second one is going to be meta-ethics and normative ethics. You'll understand more about what those are as the course gets going. Of course, they're also going to need a proposal. Before the papers are due, you will submit, and the due dates are on the course calendar. Before they are due, I want you to submit a small proposal, which is just a couple sentences and a list of sources telling me what your topic is going to be. It's not a contract. You can change your topic later. You can change your sources later. That's fine. But it'll give me some idea of what you are up to. and it will get the ball rolling on your end. Also, it'll allow me to tell you whether you need to change your topic. The length is listed there as well. That's pretty strict length. The sources, there'll need to be 5 sources. That's 2 citations per page. Wikipedia and blogs and any non-academic sources are not going to be accepted. You can use them, you can even cite them, but they're not going to count towards your 5 sources. The most important part of your paper is going to be the thesis. This is a very specific statement of what it is that you're going to argue. Some idea. Something like, let's say, abortion should be permitted under the circumstances of rape and incest only because life begins at conception. Something like that, if you want to take that route. Or you can take the opposite. And that's totally fine. I will especially grade you on counter arguments as well. We have that right here, a little statement there. Your argument, your idea, your belief is going to be one that has opponents, and you need to address your argument against those opponents. You need to look up sources that disagree with you, and you need to present them in such a way where you look at their argument in detail and then you argue against them in detail. This is an important part of your paper. And of course, your argument itself, your whole paper, is an argument in support of your thesis. So for more information on the specifics of what I expect and how I will grade it, look at the paper grading rubric below. It's attached, it's part of this syllabus. I call it a handout, but that really just means it's below. It's one of the pages below. We'll mention that in a bit. All right, now let's look at the lecture write-ups. Lecture write-ups are, in response to any questions, specific questions that I give during the lectures, I expect you to give a small handwritten response. I guess not handwritten, typed up response and submitted online. This is to make sure that you're paying attention during the lectures and to test for comprehension and understanding, not just of my lectures, but any other videos that I post as well. There will be other supplemental videos. Also, in these write-ups, when you see them, when you go to submit them online, you may see a couple other multiple choice questions, just testing that you watched those other videos or testing some comprehension of the videos that you need to watch. Also, there is extra credit opportunity. I'm a big believer in rewarding hard work, and if you work more than is required, then I would like to reward that. And if you learn something from it, all the better. So I encourage that. And there's some explanation of how to get extra credit right there. Essentially, it is going to be attending some sort of academic presentation or watching a 2-hour video, a philosophical video, around 2 hours roughly, right? And then you're going to write a 3-page paper in response. 2 pages of that is going to be a summary. 1 page is going to be your particular response. And you could also read additional material. A lot of the readings that we have will be excerpts from larger works. So you can just read those larger works, read some of those larger works, and get some extra credit for writing something in response to them. Now, for a list of some pre-approved videos or things to read, you can look at the extra credit handout in the syllabus below. Of course, the videos, there will be many videos that you need to watch. There will also be some supplemental videos in addition to the lectures. It's important to note that videos will be added, probably they will be added as the semester progresses. Again, look at the online syllabus to keep up to date on what videos are required, what videos are posted. And we will look at the list of videos here in just a moment. This is just repeating the idea that you can turn things in at any time up until the due date. Now, here is the course calendar. We have our due dates listed here on the left. They're typically Saturdays, and that's to say that something is due by 11:55 p.m. on those days. And then in the middle, you have your list of readings. So for each individual numbered list, you will have a walkthrough. So go look on the online reader and you can find the questions for those walkthroughs already posted, and you can look at the questions as you read the assignment. Fill out the questions, answer the multiple choice questions as you read the assignment. So each one of these is going to have a separate submission online. It will look kind of like a quiz, but it'll be open book. It'll just be 5 to 10 questions for each reading. Alright, and then of course we have the videos here on the right that are associated. This little arrow right here is just meant to say, just meant as a quick reminder that you're going to have a write-up to submit for every lecture. Now, let's look at some of this. Okay, so the Pojman textbook, what does it look like? This is your main textbook for the course. Okay, you have the table of contents here, which will show you where each of the readings are. We will jump around. We will not always go in sequential order. Which chapter we are reading depends on the topic that we're discussing. Also, we have the online reader. Again, this will be updated as the course goes along, slightly, but most of the content is already here. And let me just show you how to use this. Scroll down to the table of contents, and here you have all of your readings and walkthroughs. One thing that's nice is you can just click on it, and it will bring you right to it. Hopefully, there we go. Alright, so here's your walkthrough. You already have the questions and answers right here. You can print it out or you can write it down, however you like. Go through these as you watch this video or as you read the book. We're going to have another one down here, Introduction to Critical Thinking. So you have it. This is how most of the online reader readings will be set up. First you have your walkthrough questions, and then you have the reading itself. Here is the reading that is required. Let's scroll past this and you'll see the next reading. There we go. Principles of argumentation with the questions that you'll need to submit online, and then the reading itself. Now, the questions for the walkthroughs for the Pojman textbook are on here as well, but the readings are not on the online reader. The Pojman readings are in the online textbook, which is right here. Alright, now let's look at the videos. You can find the list of videos here at this site. It is a YouTube playlist. There we go. Now I don't have any lectures uploaded yet, but they will be listed here in order as the semester progresses. These are this list will include both the lectures and the supplemental videos. And the lectures and the supplemental videos are all listed on the right. Now, let's keep going. Notice also that I have tests listed in here. Proposals will look like a walkthrough when you go online to the online web portal, except you just type something in. Notice these little stars just to draw attention to the fact that this says Tuesday instead of Saturday. Here are some institutional policies about withdrawing or academic integrity, some other things just copied from the school itself. All right, here's the paper grading rubric, just some details on how I will grade your papers. Now, this means for each item you can score between 0 and 5, and it adds up to 100%. I want to draw particular attention to these last two down here, the penalties. Now, if you turn in a paper that is only 2/3 of the length that I require it to be, that means the maximum you can get for that paper is going to be 66%. So even if you write an excellent paper, but it's a couple pages short, I will immediately penalize whatever percentage short you are. Let's say there's a 10-page paper and you give me 9 pages, immediately you can only get 90% at the highest. So that is the most significant penalty you can have. Also, I do not guarantee that I will accept late submissions, but if I do accept late submissions, it will be minus 5% per day. All right. Let's just run through these specifically. Chicago style, I just want some basics. I'm not super picky about Chicago style, just some basics so that each paper looks relatively the same. And for help on what Chicago style expectations are, look at this footnote on the top right, which is down here at the bottom of the page. There's a couple of websites you can go to for help with Chicago style. The thesis is a big part of your grade. I already mentioned about that. It needs to be easy to identify, clear and specific. It needs to be unique, and it needs to be philosophical in nature. Also, writing style, this should be fairly easy. Does it make sense what you're saying? Can I understand it? I am not going to be a grammar Nazi, so to speak, where I dock you points on every typo that you have. However, if they're everywhere, I will start docking you points. And then on the content, did you follow the research paper instructions? Do you have enough sources? Things like that. And then the argument itself. Notice that you need to interact with your sources. Specifically, I want you to name your sources. Say, this person says this, and this is how I disagree with them, or how I agree with them. All right, counter arguments, that's a big part of your grade as well. That's important. So you can look at that as well. Now, these are just some resources for your papers. So you're going, first of all, when you pick a topic, say you want to do a topic on abortion or something like that. These 3 websites right here are basically an academic version of Wikipedia. They are written, all of the articles are written by professionals, by professors of philosophy at good universities. So you can click on those and type in any topic like abortion, or you can type in something like duty or virtue or something along those lines, and it will explain the side that supports that idea and the side that opposes that idea. It will explain some different sides there. It's a good place to start your research, to find out what this topic is even about, and to gather some sources. Of course, you can even cite those 3 sources. Also, when we talk about meta-ethics or about normative ethics, we have here just some topic ideas for your paper. And you can also click on this resource library right here. This is just a folder, a Google Drive folder of different articles that may help. And then we have applied ethics. You can also propose your own topic ideas, but here are just some starters. Propose your own topic ideas and get my feedback whether or not it's a good idea. All of these sources for these different topics are things that you can cite. Of course, you're going to have a specific thesis within these, but this is a collection of articles on both sides of certain debates. Now, here's the extra credit. We've got some extra credit videos. Of course, you watch the video and you write something and you submit it online, or some articles and some books. I tried to find books that were just online. Again, we have the resource library here. Anything in the resource library is fair game for extra credit. All right. This last thing, this is just a bonus kind of handout. It just shows how debated certain ethical issues are. For example, doctor-assisted suicide. Is doctor-assisted suicide morally permissible, or is it wrong? It seems like in America, there's an equal percentage of people who land on both sides of that debate. So this is just a list of very hotly debated topics. Okay, that is it for our syllabus. Let's get back to just talking about the course in general. Here's some advice from former students of mine for future students. So you might want to take this advice. Here we go. On critical thinking specifically, one student said, "Be prepared to write and read a lot. Being able to think critically is a must, and you may not agree with all of the philosophy that is presented." Another student said that we should come in with an open mind and not get offended because everyone is entitled to their own opinions. That's right. We're going to present ideas that are not just difficult to understand, but challenging to you personally and your beliefs. I will present different views that are against each other, and you will have to decide which ideas you like. Another student says, what you believe might get shaken up, but you will see more in how people think in the world. Be open-minded. Now, for the readings, someone said, read ahead. That's good advice. Make sure to do the readings and walkthroughs before they will be discussed in the lecture. Make sure you read and understand. If not, ask questions. Now, in relation to the lectures, someone says, make sure to put anything you learn into simpler terms so that all the words don't scare you. Like make pictures to understand. Pay attention in the lectures because it will help with the readings. I would advise the student to take very detailed notes. Do take notes because it helps. Notes, notes, notes. It's good advice. Take notes while you watch the videos. Again, your tests will be open note, so your notes will be your cheat sheet, so to speak, on your test. Now, one student says, find friends to work with. Of course, as an online course, that's a little bit more difficult, but feel free to email or contact other students in the course. Of course, contact me as well for any questions you have. I answer fairly quickly with emails and texts. Now, in terms of procrastination, it's the biggest challenge for the course. Do not procrastinate, one student says. Try to do your work ahead of schedule. Do not slack on your assignments. Start on the walkthroughs early. Get a schedule to read in order to be able to turn in the assignments on time. That's right. Pace yourself. Make a schedule for yourself. Do not wait till the last minute. Space your time out in a realistic fashion and do everything possible to avoid putting your work off, especially since I don't accept late work, as a general rule. Don't be lazy or you will suffer. This is a student saying this. Do the papers before they are due. That's a big deal. Don't try to cram it all in the last day, or you will not have a very good paper. Pace yourself for learning all the material throughout the course. Yes. Turn in all your assignments on time. That's right. And with that, hopefully you will enjoy the course.